Okay, a long time since I've done an update. The reason for that is I've had a bit of an infection, but I got over that. Did have to go through a course of antibiotics for it, but no big deal. I've had such a good result with this. I'm starting to isolate exactly what part of the cannabinoid I need. I'm not going to talk too much about it on here because things have gone a little bit scatty, and I find myself thinking that I might actually be able to even consider going back to work if this isn't just a plateauing out of my situation. Well, even if it's a plateauing out, I do believe that I'm not far short of being able to have enough lung capacity to hold myself together for a small of my own invented business, which I have in mind. I think there's a lot of people in my situation in the UK that could do with a more homeopathic approach perhaps to their ailments, particularly in light of the way the National Health Service is at the moment. Access to medication, doctors, etc. is becoming increasingly difficult and fraught with all sorts of interesting dilemmas. And I'm finding myself in a very interesting situation, having found that I don't think I should speak about it really, because I might find myself getting in trouble because I've come off all my medication and I'm spending an arm and a leg at the moment maintaining a purely medicinal cannabis substitute to everything as I build myself up. I am finding if I'm able to manage it properly with adequate supply of a good quality medicinal cannabis, I can reduce my requirement, and I reckon that you could reduce it right down. And then, see, I don't know what's going to come next. I'm anticipating a point where I can reduce the dosage by such an amount that it becomes a very small amount, and perhaps even in orally taken medication of an evening, perhaps, or I reckon it probably be of an evening. And I think that might just be enough with constant working, particularly with my particular case with chest complaint, lots of anaerobic exercise, lots of stuff to force you to use what you're clawing back. And I'm finding, as you can hear from my speaking, I'm able to go, I'm not so puffy and wheezy. This is just after shaking off an infection, so I'm very, very pleased with how things are going. I'm managing to get cleared up more around the house. I'm keeping myself together better. I'm out with the dog more. I was even on the skateboard the other evening, unbelievably, where I had a bit more capacity to do things. The only way to stretch it is to do more. And because I wasn't sure how far I could go, I can relax on a skateboard. Once I'm on it, I've had so many years on these things, I just scoot on it. It's a rest for me. It means mates get twice the walks you would normally have got if the weather's fine. But I was so debilitated, I couldn't even trust myself to cope with balancing on the skateboard, but now I'm able to do this. So my target is to continue skirting through the law as I am at the moment, but I intend to spread this situation, and I'm starting a thing called Herb for Life, and I want to sell it a bit like Herbalife, and I've already got a few people involved with me at the moment. We're trying to put something together. We're nearly ready to put something out on the market where we could be your local head shop, if you like. Instead of having to go down to the shop down the street that sells all the paraphernalia to do with cannabis and the books and the information and the stigma involved with going into those shops, we're going to do it a bit like the Herbalife distributor did it, and we'll do it based on stories. Now for me, I'm going to go and talk to people about how I've used it to get off of tobacco, how I've used it to improve my lung capacity and come off the medication that the doctors gave me, and how I've used it, in fact, to find myself back in employment. Instead of being a £100,000 liability to the state over the next couple of years, I might end up actually giving them a few quid in tax, who knows. It's another consideration, isn't it? If all I needed to do was to grow a few plants in my back garden and use them as sort of applicator that we're patenting that will extract a certain range of CBDs, depending on what you need to help you through whatever it is you're going through. Don't get this wrong. This isn't an attempt to find some sneaky way for potheads to go and get high on a Friday night easier. I understand. Come on, I've been there. But this is a different issue. This isn't aimed at your potheads. You're going to have to go to your doctors. My aim is that I'm going to I have constructed a rough outline of the legal requirements we have to go through in order to grow a couple of plants medicinally. And a lot of people, if they've perhaps got an arthritis issue, they don't need to have full grade, full-on, skunkified, hybridized stuff. It could be very much like the old-fashioned grass that you used to find that was more common, the old weed, and a lot less strong. And the reason for that is the cannabinoids that we need to extract from a lot of these almonds can be extracted at all sorts of phases through the plant's growth, just in different quantities. And we're finding with careful extraction methods, it's not necessary to have a huge amount, particularly if you're not used to using this. You don't have to have a narcotic high with it. Many of the cannabinoids won't give you a high. That's the THCs, and there are one or two combinations that can give euphoric feel. But then the analgesic quality of them is 3 times stronger than aspirin. So, you need to check these things out, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to basically put a package together to help educate people in their own homes, face to face. So you just face a local person that becomes a distributor, because they've had to, like I should talk to people locally about what I've done. And if then they want to follow the same suit, I can then put them in touch with the right means of doing what they have to do correctly and legally to do what I'm doing. And hopefully I'll be able to maintain this as legally. And who knows, maybe in the future this could be a model for how we could handle medicinal cannabis. Particularly if the part about the legalities, for example, the pieces we put together is based around a legal loophole or two. In the future that may have to be constructed more effectively, shall we say. I don't think it should be abused. I don't think that should be a route for abuse, because it could be an abuse either way. And at the moment, if we don't abuse it from our point of view, I'd expect to be treated the same fashion by whatever governing bodies decide to come along and have a look. All I know is I'm feeling better for it. All I can do is tell my story. So that's what I'm going to continue to do. As you can see, I'm feeling a lot better, feeling a lot healthier. You can see in my demeanour I'm feeling happier. I need to build myself up more. That's the biggest struggle at the moment, is building myself up, because I'm so debilitated, so completely debilitated. But we'll see. Battling on. Got to raise some money soon too, because I can't afford to keep doing this at this rate. Anyway, see you soon. A little update. I'll catch up soon with more. I've got to get better organised than this. I need some help, I really do. Ta-ta.